So, hi, once again, I'm Miguel. So I'm part of Nova University in Portugal, and my supervisor, Ines Chaves, is also the supervisor of the task 4.2 from this work package, WP4. And unfortunately, she is unable to attend this, but if you have any questions, you can address us by email whatsoever, and you can ask me as well, whatever you feel like. So, I will try to do this presentation very broadly because this is more focused on the materials, more on the data. Um, and the obviously I will link with the use cases from the PHENET project, but I'll try not to unveil much because they will be presented afterwards. So, why do we need to organize data? This is like the big question. Data is one of the most valuable assets in scientific research, but as you may know, it's often fragmented, inconsistent, and scattered across different platforms and formats. This lack of structure can make it difficult to find, interpret, or combine different datasets to get a meaningful analysis, especially in fields like environmental and agriculture research, where datasets come from multiple experiments and monitoring systems. Data organization becomes essential. So, by applying standardized frameworks and shared vocabularies, we can ensure that data can be shared, understood, and reused across different platforms. Well-organized data supports collaboration among researchers, enabling them to build on each other's work, perform large-scale analysis, and generate long-term scientific knowledge. Ultimately, a well-structured data ecosystem drives new discoveries and advances across many scientific disciplines. But we can talk about organizing data without talking about standardization and the FAIR principles. So, data standardization ensures that information from different sources, as mentioned, can be connected, understood, and reused effectively. This is achieved through shared vocabularies, metadata standards, and linked data frameworks, allowing datasets from different origins to work together. In soil data management, this means linking experimental measurements, environmental observations, and agricultural records using common formats and well-defined attributes. Now, the FAIR principles are central to this process. They state that data should be findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. This means data must be clearly described, published in open formats, and enriched with meaningful metadata to make it easier to search, retrieve, and integrate into larger analysis. Applying FAIR principles ensures that scientific data becomes a long-term, reusable resource that drives future discoveries and advances in research. But what are ontologies? So ontologies are structured frameworks that define concepts and the relationships between them. They act like a shared language that helps computers and humans understand and organize data consistently. For example, in the case of soil, in a soil ontology, terms like soil texture, organic matter, pH level, carbon percentage would be defined along with how they relate to each other. This allows researchers from different fields to work with the same data meaningfully, even if they use different terminologies in their respective disciplines. In the context of environmental and agriculture science, ontologies are essential for connecting diverse datasets. They help standardize how data is described, making it possible to compare and merge information from different sources. By applying ontologies, we can also build systems where data is not only stored, but also understood and queried automatically, enabling more efficient research and decision-making in the end. So, how do we apply this to soil data? Soil data, as mentioned, comes from a wide range of sources. Each of these sources may describe soil properties differently, making it hard to integrate datasets for broader analysis. Applying ontologies allow us to standardize how soil characteristics, mentioned before, are described and ensuring that data from different sources can be compared and merged effectively. However, no single ontology covers all aspects of soil science, and this is where we come in. For instance, GLOSIS, which is the global system soil information system, focus on global soil data, while the ENVO ontology describes environmental contexts. Mapping these existing ontologies helps bridge gaps, ensuring that crucial aspects like soil contaminants or microbial activity are also represented. So, standardizing soil data, as you may now realize, is essential because different research groups and organizations have developed distinct ways of describing those characteristics. For example, global databases like WOSIS use a specific reference framework for soil profiles, while academics works such as Weil and Brady take a more conceptual, educational approach to define those properties. Meanwhile, initiatives like the European Soil Database follow region-specific standards tailored to policy and land management. So these differences reflect valuable but often disconnected perspectives. Without a unified approach, comparing or integrating soil data from multiple sources becomes difficult. So once again, standardization ensures that diverse datasets can be interpreted consistently, supporting more effective environmental monitoring, agricultural planning, and scientific research. By building on existing references and linking them through ontologies, we create a common language that bridges scientific disciplines and real-world applications. And this, of course, is one of the goals of PHENET. So, how do we at Task 4.2 organize soil data? We do this by applying established standards and refining tools developed in earlier work. Our approach intends to support use case 2 on soil health and root phenotyping, where we integrate datasets such as soil organic carbon and root traits, and also use case 6 of soil phenology, which focus on tracking soil biota dynamics and nutrient fluxes influenced by environmental changes. To ensure consistency, we apply recognized frameworks such as MyAPI, for example, for phenotyping data, or GLOSIS for the global soil information. Oh. Since none of attributes from these standards are relevant, so some things from MyAPI might apply, some others may not, we select only the features essential for our goals. Additionally, existing ontologies like ENVO help describe core soil properties such as texture and composition. Now, to fully capture the soil health, we expand these ontologies to include contaminants, chemical composition, and other key indicators. This, once again, enables interoperability, which is the I in FAIR, ensuring that soil data from different sources can be combined and analyzed for the agriculture and environmental research. And what kind of ontologies and technologies do we use? We rely on a combination of ontologies, such as MyAPI, which provides a standard framework for describing plant phenotyping experiments. So, plant phenotyping, we can use some of those attributes, but not all, because it's very specific to plants, and we're working on soil. But this helps link crop performance with soil characteristics. And then we can also use GLOSIS, which focus on global soil data, defining essential soil properties like texture and organic matter. Finally, ENVO extends to environmental contexts, allowing us to describe soil in relation to its ecosystem. We also use web technologies like SOSA or SSM, which enable us to describe sensor data, including soil moisture or temperature readings. Finally, ontology is built with OWL, which is the Web Ontology Language, and RDF, which is Resource Description Framework, ensure that all this data is machine readable, interoperable, and queryable. These technologies allow researchers to connect datasets from different sources and perform complex analysis. So, I mentioned the use cases, but how does this apply? So integrating soil data using those standardized frameworks and ontologies has significant real-world benefits that extend beyond specific research projects. Standardizing data once again ensures interoperability, allowing datasets from the different sources to be linked and compared. This supports a more comprehensive analysis, enabling better understanding of soil dynamics, monitoring soil health, and assessing environmental impacts with greater precision. So this overall contributes to the global aspect of PHENET. The broader benefit of this integration is the ability of reuse data across disciplines, enhancing collaboration and accelerating scientific discoveries. Open standardized datasets also support better decision-making in agriculture, environmental conservation, and climate resilience. Use cases 2 and 6 will serve as proof of concepts for all of this, showing how integrated data can support the soil health monitoring and the phenological research. Finally, what is our current work and where do we aim to go? Our current work focuses on bridging ontologies to improve how soil data is described, especially by integrating the visual near-infrared spectroscopy measurements. From this spectra come from use case 6, so from Boku, which will be explained later, and support soil characterization by measuring properties like organic matter, moisture, and mineral composition. To standardize this data, as mentioned before, we are adapting the MyAPI standard, commonly used for the plant phenotyping, by defining essential metadata elements specific to soil data. This once again ensures consistency in how soil attributes are described, facilitating integration and interoperability. We are also actively mapping soil data to glosses with the help of Luís Moreira de Souza, which he was on Wageningen and now he is in Lisbon, which is, of